Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome into your Advanced Performance Management class session, December 2022. First of all, I apologize for a bit late. The the Zoom link was unfortunately down, and we were trying to fix, and finally it is now okay. So this is Matlub Ilahi, your Advanced Performance Management course leader. I will be leading this course. First of all, I would like to share my little bit introduction. I have been teaching this course for more than a decade. I have also been teaching in Mauritius from 2013 till 2019. You might have heard about me. So my core subjects are SBL and APM. And if I tell you about this course, Advanced Performance Management, you might have heard from your colleagues that I claim it flows in my blood. How much I love for this subject, this paper, how much I have passion for this paper, you will definitely feel it, okay? Because I believe in the power of knowledge, and I believe in the power of communication and sharing. Although we are in a virtual classroom, but I will try my best to transfer this passion and energy. Okay. And second thing, congratulations for choosing this paper. Why congratulations? You might be wondering why I'm saying congratulations. This paper is something unique, something special, and something I would say out of this world. Although there are a lot of rumors about this paper is difficult, this paper is this, blah, blah, blah. But now when you will study this paper, you will realize how interesting and lively this paper is, this subject, Advanced Performance Management. Don't think just I am marketing, but yes, I am promoting it. Why I am promoting? Because this paper, the world, business world needs this paper. Really, this paper reflects the actual business world. So congratulations for choosing Advanced Performance Management. If you have heard about this paper, that this is difficult or this is that, these are all just rumors and nothing else. This paper is very interesting, very interesting, very interesting. And I can tell you that after studying this paper, your point of view about performance management will definitely change. Okay, so move on. So I have a little bit introduced myself. Now I would like you guys to bit introduce. Okay, so what you need to share with me is what you think of this paper. What are your thoughts, or what type of stories you have heard from your colleagues or your friends? Please share. So we can start with Zara. Hello, Zara. Would you like to share with us? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. In fact, I'm studying my last paper for the ACCA, last paper in level 3. And the reason why I have chosen APM is that, in fact, I wanted to know more about performance management and how I'm going to apply this paper in my for different tasks that I have to execute in my work. So that's why I have chosen this paper. But also I've heard that it is a very boring subject. But I think that if we can make it together and make it more interactive, and I believe that it won't be boring.
It is not boring, I can tell you. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Yes, next is Tanishta. Hello, Tanishta.
Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. So actually, I wanted to do this paper because I've gone through the syllabus and I feel that the topics, I believe it's quite interesting rather than doing audit and assurance. But I want to learn more about this subject and I hope that I'll do great for my paper.
Definitely, definitely. And what type of stories you have heard?
Not too great, but I would like to take on this challenge.
Yes. Okay, all right. Thank you. Next, Zishan. Hello, Zishan.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
So I've choose this paper because a lot of people think it's difficult and they are not choosing it because of its failure rate, I think. But I've decided to take this as a challenge.
Okay, so you have taken it as a challenge. This is the motivation.
Yes, and also because it's we can evaluate the performance of a business. I see that this is very interesting because it's very important to evaluate performance.
True, true. Definitely. We are living in an era where more and more focus on performance management and performance measurement. So you will see after this, even after this session today, I am going to change the perspective about this paper. Okay. So next is Sohela. Hello, Sohela.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I've chosen this paper because I think it is complementary with the SBL papers, which I'm taking exams in September. So I think it will help me.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you are absolutely right. There's a very good chemistry between SPL and Advanced Performance Management. Both are interconnected with each other. Thank you very much. Next, Kritika. Hello, Kritika. Would you like to please share with us your thoughts on this paper?
Yes, hi, sir. Actually, I wanted to take this paper. To be honest with you, I'm not fond of taxation or detail, etc. So I thought my best option would be performance management. One of the things that really pushed me forward is how in performance management we evaluate the data and we give it in a report. I believe accountant no longer need to do calculations. It's not relevant in today's world. It's much more about representing data and performing analysis on these data. Exactly. So that's why it's more, yeah, that's why I took it.
You're right. This is the future of accounting, I can tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the future of accounting. There's a more and more focus on the non-financial data you might have heard about. The business world is leaving out of the financial focus and the more focus on non-financial. So this is I believe this is the future of accounting. Yes, Nitisha, please share your thoughts about this paper. Hello, Nitisha.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. Actually, we are very encouraged at work to take this paper, but most of my colleagues say it's very difficult, it's very intimidating. And I chose this because...
Sorry, I am interrupting. You are encouraged at work to take this paper?
Yes, because we are usually involved in preparing management accounts, and we usually use KPIs, and this paper will help us to interpret the information that we get involved in on a daily or monthly basis. So my CFO encourages us to take this and say it will help us in analyzing information that we deal with on a daily basis. So that's why I chose it. Yeah.
It is quite interesting insights you have shared with me. Thank you. Oh, yes.
And, but most of my colleagues say it's very difficult, it's very intimidating. but actually I took my SBA class with you last time.
Okay.
And since I saw that you're also free this course, so I jumped into this opportunity.
All right. Definitely you will be enjoying it.
Yeah.
Next, Swasti. Hello, Swasti. Can you please share
Hi.
with us?
Hi, sir. The main motive behind taking this paper is because it has a content which is more or less similar to that of SBL. And secondly, I've got some friends who took this paper and they said it's quite manageable as compared to the other options. So yes, that's the reason.
It is true. This is more manageable. This is more manageable. Okay, but this is the limit. This paper has no limit in knowledge and understanding. That's why a lot of students, they get, you can say, stressed or worried when they think of this paper. Okay, and yes, next is Danishta. Hello, Danishta.
Hi, I already did for my.
Okay, all right, okay. And yes, Nabiha.
Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. Actually, I've chosen this paper because I have had friends, who told me that this paper is really interesting and you will learn things like pricing models, which are broader aspect rather than just calculations. I've heard that it's challenging as well.
Yes, true. You are absolutely right. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing your thoughts and your motivation. And now we are going to start our discussion. Okay, already 20 minutes late, unfortunately. So first of all, I am going to start with the business world in 21st century. That is very important for you to know the challenges which modern organizations are facing in 21st century. And then we need to know the role of performance management. Okay, solution. The world needs solution. And I believe that this paper has the solution. Advanced performance management has the solution. We know that world is moving towards more sustainable development. The world is moving towards more focus on a lot of non-financial performance measures, ESG performance measurement you might have heard about. And now, by the way, international accounting standards are also going to be updated. New standards are coming on sustainability. You might have heard IFRS has introduced ISSB. You might have heard International Sustainability Standard Board has been formed. And you might also have heard that the Integrated Reporting Foundation, that's called Value Reporting Foundation, it is going to merge with IFRS Foundation. So there are a lot of interesting developments are happening. I mean, the accounting is moving towards sustainable accounting, and this paper is the answer. So first of all, if we look at the problems, the challenges which modern organizations are facing, I have just put a few factors here, but this is not the complete list. We can discuss here what problems organizations are facing. For example, right now, if we are talking about today, this is Sunday, 17th of July. Okay, so right now, the whole world is facing the supply chain issues. Understand? Supply chain disruptions are going on. Problems, organizations are facing problems all across the globe, especially if you have heard about that the organizations are facing problems such as in the areas of energy, for example. There's a lot of energy issues are going on in every country, whether you talk about Australia, Japan, or Europe, for example. Okay, energy prices are shooting up. So the businesses all across the globe, they are feeling the heat of rising energy cost. Okay, then we can talk about food supplies, for example. You might have heard that, again, because of the war between Ukraine and Russia, both countries produce quite significant means second and third largest producers of wheat and soybean and the other like edible oils. Okay, but because of the war, Ukraine cannot export its commodities. So ultimately, what is happening? There is a food issues are going on throughout the world. So food prices are going up. So countries such as in Africa, for example, you might have heard the news that African countries are facing the heat of increasing food prices. There is a food inflation. You might have seen it in Mauritius as well. Food inflation is all around us. So organizations are struggling, facing issues, problems. Okay. Then the war between Russia and Ukraine has also disrupted the whole world supply chain, especially the two problems, the energy problem and the food problem. Okay, so the whole world is facing this dilemma. Then there are other challenges which organizations are facing. For example, technology disruption is on its way. Technology disruption. We know we are living in the world where there are new technologies are coming. For example, we talk about like machine learning, we talk about AI, we talk about robotics, we talk about automation, we talk about e-commerce, we talk about platforms. We are living in era of platforms, okay? Where there are, we are living in era of algorithms, all right? So like new business models are emerging, new business models are emerging, and these new business models are challenging the existing established organizations. For example, let's talk about such as Netflix, for example, or you can talk about Spotify, for example. Both these are, Spotify is an online streaming platform. Netflix is online video, sorry, Spotify is a music platform. Netflix is online video streaming platform. But imagine how these companies have disrupted existing established business models. Imagine we just need to download one app and we have millions of songs, okay, in the Spotify. So how Spotify has challenged the existing status quo of business, doing business. This is just two, these are two just examples. You would be amazed. Even now, the big companies such as Philips, such as IKEA, even clothing companies, manufacturing companies, electronics companies are now experimenting new business models. So we are living in era of new business models, new way of doing things. Even you might have heard there is a rise of subscription-based business models. Subscription-based business models. So mean you don't need to buy something. You just need to pay a subscription and you can use the service. It was started from, for example, streaming platforms, Netflix, Spotify, but now you would be amazed that big companies such as the world leading tire manufacturer, Michelin, is now experimenting this subscription-based business models. In Michelin in Europe is now renting tires, not selling tires. Philips has also introduced this idea. Okay, it is not selling some its products such as lights, street lights. Rather, it is renting its street lights to cities, to municipalities across the globe. How these business models are, we can all link this with performance management. Keep in mind, all this discussion is within the context and scope of performance management. Basically, I want to update you where businesses are going. This is the purpose of all this discussion. So where businesses are going, performance management is also evolving. I would use word performance management is evolving as businesses are evolving. performance management is evolving. How it is evolving? Let's talk about subscription-based business models. They use sensors. Sensors gather a lot of data. So we are living in era of big data. Now in big data, you need, now what is the use of the big data if the big data is not used? Basically the big data purpose is to like unlock new patterns, uncover new patterns, hidden patterns in the data. Okay, so if data is not used, what is the purpose of all this? So with the data, companies can understand better behaviors. Companies can understand not only about customers, how customers are using their products, but they can also measure performance of their products as well. This is the point. If Michelin using sensors inside tires, so in the data centers of Michelin, where thousands, not thousands, millions of tires data is being sent every second. So data scientists are over there who are analyzing the performance of each tire. So in case if any tire, you know, in harsh weather conditions in Europe, for example, snowfall, heavy winters. So in case if there is a problem in any tire, okay, the data, the sensors can highlight that this tire is going to be inflated or this tire has low pressure. So they can immediately update the companies which purchase trucking companies such as MAN, such as Mercedes, such as Volvo. So Michelin can share the data with these trucking companies and they can immediately fix the problem. Okay, so this is new business world. Subscription-based business models. These are also called service, product as service. Product as a service. These are new business models. This is called SaaS. When you get free from this class, search about XaaS, product as a service business models. Very interesting. And all the big companies are experimenting on SaaS. Okay, so imagine how the business world is moving. So don't you think accounting will not move? Don't you think the performance management will not move? Everything will need to update. Accounting is itself going through a lot of transformations. This is why I told you this paper is the paper of the world, business world paper. Understand? Okay. Now, let's talk about the next very big thing, climate change. It is real. Climate change is all around us. Right now, you might have heard news that in some parts of the world, there are massive rains. In Pakistan, for example, in like many areas of the Pakistan, there are like unprecedented rains. In Karachi, in other parts. Okay, so as a result of the heavy rains, there are floods, urban flooding. This is now a new term we are hearing again and again and again. Urban flooding. Understand? Urban flooding. And some part of the world, there are massive rains. Other part of the world, there are droughts. There are droughts. There are no rains. Understand? So imagine how businesses are getting affected, how business organizations are being affected. I would say business organization performance are being affected. Performance. Here is the role of management accountants. Here is the role of performance management specialists and performance management experts. Okay, this is a very big debate, because all across the globe, businesses are adopting sustainable business practices. And we know all across the globe, the governments are now encouraging and regulating requiring business organization to change their behavior. Be responsible. Responsible business. So who will make business responsible? These are the performance management experts. My dear, you might have heard that now in Europe, in America, in Canada, there is a more focus on ESG reporting, sustainability reporting. Even in Mauritius, you might have seen that some companies such as like ENL, such as GML, Lux Resorts, Terra, Medin, okay, Omnicane, all these companies in Mauritius, they like publish their integrated reports now. And even Stock Exchange of Mauritius is now requiring and becoming soon, I'm not updated latest, but I heard in 2019 that the Stock Exchange of Mauritius is going to make it mandatory for the big companies to report in integrated or GRI format. Okay, so the point here is that businesses are now required to transform their business models. I am using word, businesses are required to transform. What is transforming business models? Who will manage all this? This is the performance managers, okay? Performance managers transforming their business models, low emission. The world is moving towards net zero. So here is the role of accountants is at center towards the journey of net zero. The role of accountants is at center. Understand? Is at the center. They will measure, they will manage, they will measure. And my dear, a very famous statement is used in this paper, this beautiful paper, that is called "What gets measured gets done." What gets measured gets done. You must be familiar now with this. This is a part of syllabus. You imagine this is the part of the syllabus. What gets measured gets done means, and this means that what we measure, we can manage. What we can measure, we can control. You can derive a lot of meanings out of this discussion. So this paper will tell you how to measure the different aspects of the organization. Understand? So climate change is here now, is here. Sea levels are rising. And imagine the business organizations which are operating in highly vulnerable businesses operating in, sorry, I write short words just to write maximum, operating in like high climate vulnerable areas. Vulnerable areas. How are they adopting? For example, let's talk about Maldives. Let's talk about Seychelles. Talk about Bali. Okay, we know that these regions of the world heavily rely on tourism. Even Mauritius heavily rely on tourism. Understand? Maldives is sinking, you might have heard, okay, because sea levels are rising. Why sea levels are rising? Global temperature is rising, okay? Global temperature, glaciers are melting, sea levels are rising. And as a result, what is happening? Now, those regions that heavily rely on tourism, what is the future of their economy? So here are questions about sustainability. Questions about sustainability. And yes, there are water stress areas where in the next 10 years, there will be problems of water, climate change, water stress areas, okay? some parts of Africa. Even I can give you example of Cape Town, for example. You might have heard that Cape Town had faced 3 years of drought. The dams dried up. Dams that supply water to Cape Town, one of the most beautiful city in the world, one of the most touristic city in the world. Understand? And ultimately, they started counting day zero. Day zero, you might have heard. What happened? They rationed the water for hotels. Now imagine the touristic city where hotels are not allowed to use more water than a certain limit. Understand? So if you look at the performance, we can link with the performance of whole city because of the climate change. Okay? Business performance due to climate change, water. And this is not the only thing. Think of the population of the world. Population is rising in some parts, such as Africa, for example. In Africa, the population is rising. On the other side, the climate also changing. So weather patterns are changing. And as a result, what would happen? Think of the business organizations, businesses which are operating in the agri-industry. You just imagine risks are rising. Risks are rising for these industries, which deal with like food, with agriculture, your favorite chocolate, for example. Imagine if the cocoa producing countries such as Ghana, such as the Congo, such as other countries, such as Kenya, little bit of Kenya, Uganda, Ghana, that produce the largest amount of cocoa, for example. But if there are like heavy rains, the chocolate cocoa yield will be impacted. Understand? And this will drive the prices up. So climate change would cause a lot of problems. Food scarcity, food inflation. So imagine, here is the role of accountants, role of performance, just not in private organization, but also in public organizations as well, public sector as well. So there are performance specialists. The public organizations are now recruiting performance experts and performance specialists who can carry out performance audits. You might have heard about performance audit is now on rise. I hope you are understanding all this. Okay. Then there are other issues as well. Customers, modern customers. We are dealing with Gen Z. Okay, Gen Z. Who are Gen Z? Who are Gen Z? Sorry. Those who were born after 2000 or around 2000. Understand? So those who have born and those who have grown up in the era of Facebook, TikTok, Insta, their thinking, their behaviors, their patterns of consumption are very different than millennials or than the previous generations. Understand? Now there is a flood of information. There is a social media. There is a era of like flood of information, updated, awareness. So in that era, how difficult it is becoming to manage and operate a business. Understand? Why? Because customers, even they can boycott online. They can start a trend on the Twitter, for example, and the companies, the business organizations' performance would be affected. We see it on normally it is becoming a normal pattern now that Twitter trends are affecting business performance. Okay. Next, compliance issues, regulation, compliance. I was sharing with you that how the IFRS, the International Financial Reporting Standards, and IFRS Foundation, they are now introducing the sustainability standards. So there is a compliance changing. Okay, then regulations all across the globe. You might have heard that the governments are tightening the screw around the technology. Big tech companies such as Google, such as Apple, such as Facebook, such as Amazon, they are trying to control the behaviors of these companies about data, about advertisement, about the consumers or users rights, human rights, consumers, data protection, and a lot of other. Yes, regulation are becoming more and more tight. Okay, because yes, I use word that 21st century businesses require 21st century regulations. Okay, so there are regulations about emissions, there are regulations about tax, carbon tax, you might have heard. So all these are the new challenges. These were not present 20 years back. These are new. So business organizations' performance is being affected. So who are the winners and who are the losers? Who are the winners? Those who are proactive. Okay, those who are proactive, those who can predict the future, those who are already planning and preparing, those who are already transforming their business models, those who are already complying and preparing their cultures and business practices, processes, systems, and strategies. Okay, they are aligning with the changing patterns, they are adopting, they are winners. They are winners. Okay, so next, for example, changing faces of risk. Now, all these issues I have just discussed, these explain the risk. There is a new profile of risk, new profile of risk. Organizations are facing more risk and different types of risk than ever before. Okay, and then, yes, let's talk about competition. The competition, the nature of the competition is far, far different than 20 years ago. Okay, there are new business models and new levels of competition. Imagine, for example, let's talk about energy. The world is moving towards renewable energy. Let's talk about the vehicles. The world is moving towards EVs, electric vehicles. So Tesla and similar startups and companies, they are gaining more hype. For example, you would be amazed that the value of Tesla is more than, guess what? Value of Tesla is more than the total value of Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes Daimler Group. Hello, is it strange for you? The value of Tesla, the market value of Tesla, is greater than the total sum of values of Volkswagen. How big is the Volkswagen? Do you know about that? Hello, my dear. Have you heard about how big is the Volkswagen? The world's largest automaker. Although in the last couple of years, the Toyota has become the #1, but there's not much difference. Volkswagen is world, like one of the biggest companies in the world. It makes Audi, it makes Porsche, and a lot of other brands. Understand? What is the reason why Tesla value is higher than the sum of these all German car makers? What do you think? My style, you might have heard, or you might already have a little bit know. I believe in two-way communication. I expect my students to participate, to give input, to share their input, to share their thoughts, because I believe this is the way to improve the understanding. Interaction on the both sides is very important to keep things lively and interesting. My dear, what do you think? Why the value of Tesla is greater than the sum of the values of Volkswagen, BMW, and Mercedes Daimler? Okay, yes, because this is the future. This is the future business model. This is the car of the future. This is electric vehicle company. Understand? It is making cars for a net zero world, emission-free world. So this is one of the reasons value of Tesla is greater. This is just one example. Look into any industry you see. For example, look into the hotel industry. We see the Airbnb, for example, the rise of Airbnb. BNB is giving, this is just an app, But my dear, it is giving tough time to established hotels. Established hotels, it is giving tough time. Okay, and its value is higher. So the brands with like thousands of hotels, such as Accor Group, Accor, such as the like IGH, for example, okay, Marriott, for example, Sheraton, Hilton, BNB is giving tough time. This is a new era of competition, new era of competition. Think of education, for example. In education industry, it is also going through revolution. Understand? Now, more and more people are learning skills online. Okay, so how the virtual platforms, we are talking about virtual platforms, how virtual platforms are rising, the demand for edX or edtech, you might have heard, edtech, education technology platforms, they are rising. And it is, now people are asking question about university degrees. Yes, my dear. People have started asking the value of university degree, what university would teach us. Okay, and why should not we learn some other skills from the online platforms? So this is a new era of competition. Okay, got it? All right, and then the last point, human capital. Human capital, skill. We are living in knowledge era. Knowledge. There is, who is valuable? The one who has the knowledge. Okay, so think of the Google, for example. Google is almost $1 trillion company, Alphabet, its parent company, Alphabet. Okay, but you would be amazed that almost 10%, 8 to 10% of Google value reflected by its physical assets. 90% of Google value, or more or less, is because of algorithms. It is knowledge intensive world. Knowledge intensive industries are rising. You can see the online rise of online platforms, they are knowledge intensive. Knowledge is king now. So human capital. So my dear, the point here is that you need to update your skills. You need to update your skills. If you have a skill you have learned 10 years back, that skill may be less relevant for the future of work. Okay, so you need to keep learning and keep educating. So I hope that you got some understanding of the business organizations of 21st century, what type of problems and challenges they are facing. And here is the role of performance management. So performance management is here to stay. Performance management is becoming more important and critical role the accountants or management accountants. Okay, got it. All right, so next now, let's talk about aim and use of this paper, Advanced Performance Management in the corporate world. Let's have a look. To apply relevant knowledge, skills, and exercise professional judgment in selecting and applying strategic management accounting techniques in different business contexts, and to contribute to the evaluation of performance of an organization and its strategic and operational development. So the point here is that this subject, you can also call it as strategic management accounting. This is strategic management accounting because this paper will teach you how to measure performance on the top of the organization, top strategic level performance measurement. Let's have a look at the relational diagram of this paper. This paper is directly connected with SBL paper. You can see here, this paper is directly connected with the SBL paper. A lot of topics are shared between both papers, but although the application of those topics is a bit different, but still both papers share a lot of ideas and thinking. APM is built upon performance management, PM paper. You might have studied at your skilled module, okay? And PM is based on management accounting. So those topics that you have studied at MA and PM level, such as budgeting, for example, or we talk about other basic topics such as transfer pricing or balance scorecard, activity-based costing, target costing, okay, little bit of standard costing. So these topics, risk and uncertainty is now removed from this syllabus, but there are few topics, certain topics that you will be using at Advanced Performance Management. But you should know that the application of those topics at APM is different. For example, at PM level, you might be required to explain the benefits, advantage or disadvantages of a particular budgeting technique. But at APM, you would be required to evaluate whether this budgeting system is suitable for this particular organization or not. Evaluation. Basically, at APM level, this verb you must be familiar, good familiarity. Evaluate means you have to check suitability of a particular model or technique or system for the organization. You have to assess whether this particular technique, such as zero-based budgeting, for example, whether zero-based budgeting making sense for this organization or not, considering its context. Okay, all right, move on. So main capabilities, what you will learn. On successful completion of this exam, candidates should be able to use strategic planning and control models to plan and monitor organizational performance. Identify and evaluate design features of effective performance management information and monitoring systems and recognize the impact of developments in technology in performance measurement and management systems. Apply appropriate strategic performance measurement techniques in evaluating and improving organizational performance. Advise clients and senior management on strategic business performance evaluation and recognizing vulnerabilities to corporate failure. Okay, and then apply a range of professional skills in addressing requirements within the Advanced Performance Management exam and in preparation for or to support current work experience and demonstrate employability and technology skills. All right, let's have a look at the syllabus. You might have heard or you need to know that APM syllabus has been further reduced. There are few topics have been deleted from the syllabus. For example, if you look now, there are 4 sections of the syllabus. Previously, there were 5. Or if you go further back, there were 6 sections. But now there are only 4 sections, A, B, C, and D. One complete section has been removed from the syllabus, and this is applicable from September 2022. Okay, risk and uncertainty area has been completely removed. Understand, although little bit risk discussion is part of performance management, but risk chapter or risk like section has been removed. And there are also other topics such as corporate failure has been removed from the syllabus. So syllabus is now bit like reduced now, okay, as compared to previously. So section A, strategic planning and control. Section B, performance management information systems and development in technology. This was previously section C, but now it is section B because section B has been removed. Section C now is strategic performance measurement. It was previously section D. It was previously D. It was previously C. Okay. And then performance evaluation. It was previously section E. All right. Then there is also a very big transformation in the APM that you might have heard. Previously, there were only 4 marks for professional in 50 marks question, professional skills, but now there are 20 marks, just like as SBL. Okay, there are 20 marks. So you have to write for how many marks? Hello? You have to write your answer for how many marks? 80 marks. Okay, there are 20 professional skills marks, my dear. There were previously there were only 4 in section A of 50 marks question, but now these 20 marks have been segregated into section A 10 marks and section B 10 marks, and then there will be 2 questions in section B, so 5 marks in both questions. And all the 5 skills which you have learned at SBL, now you will be using those 5 skills here. So that is skepticism, that is communication, that is commercial acumen, and analysis and evaluation. So those 5 skills you will be using here as well. What do you think? Is it good news or bad news? Hello? Is it good or bad? What is your point of view? Yes, it is good news. It is good news. On the one side, you need to develop those 5 skills that will definitely help you at your workplace. Don't think these skills are only required to pass the paper. No. These will help you at your workplace. When you, for example, you are working as a manager, you need to the skill of analysis, how to analyze a particular, for example, you are working as a manager or finance manager, someone tell you that someone share a news with you, or someone share an piece of information with you. For example, someone tells you that market prices are going up. Now, these skills require you to confer. So you need to be skeptic. You need to analyze. You need to evaluate that impact. You need to communicate that in news with your seniors. Understand? So, and yes, you also need to check how this would impact your organization. This is called commercial acumen. So not only these 5 skills has to pass paper, but for your workplace. Okay, prepare you for workplace. And then section F is a newly addition. You don't have to do anything about this. This is just about computer literacy, employability, and technology skills. You should be capable of using Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Okay, you should be familiar with how to write reports, how to type, how to calculate, how to analyze using the technology, for example. So this is, you don't have to do anything extra on this. Okay, so these are the syllabus broad areas. Now let's talk about syllabus in more detail. Section A is about strategic planning and control. So what you need to learn here, what you will be learning here, you will be learning about strategic management accounting. You will be learning about performance hierarchy. Performance hierarchy is about how performance flow from top to the bottom of the organization. You will learn about performance management and control of the organization. So you will be learning here about different budgeting techniques, and their suitability in the context of the organization. Next, you will learn about changes in business structure and management accounting. Business structure and management accounting. So very interesting. You will learn here about information requirements at different levels of the organization. For example, business structure such as divisional structure, such as functional structure. So what type of information would be needed? For example, think of like in Mauritius, for example, a local company such as talk about Omnicane, for example, or Terra, for example. What type of information they need to manage their organization? They have a different structure as compared to ENL, or as compared to Lux Resorts that has presence beyond Mauritius. So they would need different set of information, information requirement for different levels of management, and different structures of the organization. You will also learn here about business process re-engineering, main change structure of the organization. And we know to achieve performance excellence, to achieve the highest level of performance, we need to change business structure. We need to update business structure according to the latest developments in the business and industry. This is called business process re-engineering. Okay, for example, technology, for example. A company selling grocery by having stores in different regions. But now it starts e-commerce. It starts selling through its online platform. So it will be having an app, for example, app. So customers can order through that app and get the delivery. This is business process re-engineering. Or further, think of the latest developments in financial technology. Okay, financial technology, all this, how we are making payments, how we are receiving payments, such as in Mauritius, for example, Juice app is a classic example of business process re-engineering. How Juice has improved the lives, how Juice has improved the way business is done. Okay, that means you don't need to go into ATM now. You just transfer or receive money through Juice. That is business process. So here you will learn how a business process re-engineering program would improve performance of the organization. Very interesting. Okay, then there are ESG factors. How environmental, social, and governance factors would affect performance of the organization. Or in other words, you will learn here how sustainability related issues, we call it ESG issues, would impact business performance. Okay, all the discussion we were making in the beginning of our class is here part of the syllabus. All the discussion about climate change, about emissions, about recycling, about waste, about water usage, all these have impact. And should I tell you, even examiner can connect this one with pastel model as well. Pastel is also part of APM syllabus, like many other models. Okay, so climate change, ESG can be linked with the pastel. And then you would be required to analyze, evaluate how these changing circumstances would impact performance of the organization. There is question in the past paper. There are questions. Just imagine how interesting is this paper. There are questions in the past papers. For example, I can share with you a scenario that because of the heavy rains in a particular region, okay, because of the heavy rain in a particular region, or because of the drought in a particular region, the crop yields have affected, or because of a disease. Yes, this is also related with another topic, environmental management accounting. Environmental management accounting, it is also part of this advanced performance management. Okay, so you can be given a case that because of a particular disease in a particular region, the crop yield has affected. Okay. Crop yield has affected. So ultimately, hitting the prices of commodities up. Understand? On the other side, there are some issues in the political, like politics or political systems of a particular region or a particular country in which the organization is operating. Okay. Now you are required, and some other information are also provided, and then you are required to assess, analyze how these changing factors would impact performance. And then you are required to make certain suggestions, recommendations, how to solve, how to reduce the risk, how to reduce the risk. Or even examiner can link this topic with ethics as well. Ethics and corporate social responsibility as well. These are also part of this subject. Okay, so where, for example, the company decides to close its factory in a particular region. Company decide to close its factory in a particular region. Why? Because there would be, for example, chaos or unrest, civil unrest, for example, or there would be some other issue. So company decide to close its factory. Okay, now you would be required to discuss on ethical issues. Why? Because there is a lot of unemployment in that area. So if that factory is closed, okay, whether that is ethical issue or not, or what type of reputation and ethical issues may develop. Understand? So a lot of interesting. Just imagine how interesting this syllabus is and this paper is. Next, B section. Performance management, information systems and development in technology. So here you will, in this section, you are going to learn about like performance management information systems. And that is system. System is very important for performance measurement, because without system, we cannot measure performance in simple. What you will learn here, performance management information system, the different types of information system, for example, transaction processing system or management information system or executive information system, okay, or decision support system. You will need to little bit learn about different types of information systems. Then you will learn about different sources of management information. There would be internal sources of information and there would be external sources of information. You will need to evaluate different sources of information. Evaluate. You will also need to look at the cost and benefits of collecting information, because you need information for performance measurement. Then you will learn about recording and processing systems and technologies. There are different types of technologies available to record, to capture, to process data. Okay, so you will learn here a few technologies such as automation, such as you will learn here about cloud computing. You will learn here about cloud. You will learn here about AI. Yes, how AI capture data. Sensors, I told you, Michelin, Philips, ACCA, even now the car manufacturing companies such as Volkswagen is also experimenting on subscription-based business models. Okay, AI and some other technologies you will learn here about how to collect, capture, process data. Then you will learn here about data analytics. Data analytics. So you will learn here about big data, different characters and aspects of big data, such as volume, such as velocity, such as variety, such as veracity. Okay, and then you will also look at the benefits. You will also look at the drawbacks. You will also look at the risks. You will also look at the ethics involved in collecting data. Ethics. Okay, ethics. data analytics. And then last part is about management reports. So you will look at the different reports, different reporting in, yes, like management reports or performance report, how to write a performance report. And you will also learn about integrated report as well here in this area. And you will also learn about lean systems. Lean system. What is lean system? Okay. So this is section C, strategic performance measurement. What you are going to learn in this area? First, strategic performance measures in private sector. So you will learn here about different financial performance measurement. Financial performance measures. Financial performance measures such as revenue, profit, ratios, liquidity, and then you will learn about ROEs, RI, and some other measures such as cash flow based measures. Then you will learn about divisional performance and transfer pricing theories. Divisional performance. You will learn here about like EVA, economic value added technique of measuring divisional performance. You will learn here about different transfer pricing systems, okay, such as market-based transfer pricing or cost-based transfer pricing, okay. Then you will move on, learn about how to measure performance in not-for-profit organizations, not-for-profit, such as NGOs or such as public sector organizations, such as public health organizations, such as, for example, in Mauritius, you can call about Victoria Hospital or Dr. Jitu Hospital, or like Fire Brigade, or public schools, or public universities, different type of public organizations. Here you will learn about value for money. Value for money. Value for money mean 3 E's. What are 3 E's? Economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Okay. Then you will learn about non-financial performance indicators. Non-financial performance indicators. I told you in the start of the class that how the rise of non-financial performance indicators. For example, we were talking about ESG performance. ESG performance. So all these are non-financial. For example, if you are required to report on environmental issues, you are required to report on social issues, you are required to report on governance issues, all these are non-financial. All these are non-financial. So there is rise of non-financial performance measures. Then role of quality in management information and performance measurement systems. You will learn here about different quality management techniques, how to improve quality. So you will learn here about quality management techniques. You will learn here about just in time. You will learn here about TQM. You will learn here about Kaizen. You will learn here about target costing. You will learn here about Six Sigma, different types of quality management techniques. Okay. Next, performance measurement and strategic human resource management issues. So here you will learn about how to link rewards with performance and standards. How to link rewards with performance. Here, you will also learn about behavioral issues. Behavioral issues with performance. We know about this, the different tricks, different gaming. You will learn here about the drawbacks such as gaming, such as ossification. Okay? The tricks, the creative accounting, which managers may play just to show they are improving performance, but actually there would be no actual increase in performance. So you will learn here about that. And then in section D, performance evaluation, it's very simple. Alternative views of performance measurement and management. What you are going to learn. And by the way, one compulsory question from this area, one compulsory question, one question from this D area in section B of syllabus. Sorry, paper, section B. So imagine how easy it is to pass APM. How easy it is to pass APM. Let's talk about alternative views of performance measurement and management. What you are going to learn here. You are going to learn here the models for performance management. For example, you will be learning here about balanced scorecard. Balanced scorecard. You will be learning here about building block model. You will learn here about performance pyramid. You will learn here about activity-based management. Activity-based management. And you will learn here about value-based management. So these are the 5 models or 5 theories which you will learn here as a part of alternative views of performance measurement and management. And then the last part, strategic performance issues in complex business structures. Previously, there was a topic of corporate failure that has been removed. Corporate failure models was part, but it has been removed now as from September 2022. Corporate failure models such as the qualitative models and quantitative models has been removed. Now there's a very simple topic, strategic performance issues in complex business structures. So you need to know what are complex business structures, what are complex business structures. This is my favorite area of discussion, although the whole paper, but where I write particularly. Okay, complex business structures. We are talking about modern platforms. Modern platforms such as Uber, for example, B&B, for example. Okay, for example, Spotify. For example, LinkedIn. These are platforms, virtual platforms. These are complex organizations. Why complex? Because they involve hundreds and thousands and millions of people. There on the one side, there are developers. there are providers of service. On the other side, there are users of service. So these are modern day complex organizations. So you will learn here about strategic issues. For example, I was reading some articles about Spotify. And Spotify, for example, the song, like singers, for example, there are hundreds and thousands of singers on the Spotify. Okay, there are old singers, there are new singers, there are experienced, there are emerging. How revenue is shared? This is the very big question, how revenue is shared among new singers. Or let's talk about Amazon Prime or Netflix. For example, you develop a documentary, you create a documentary, or you create content. You create a content and you sell it to Netflix or LinkedIn or Spotify. How you will price it? Okay, so these and a lot of other interesting issues you will learn here in section D. Joint ventures. Okay, how issues in joint ventures, issues faced by organization in joint ventures, or strategic alliances. Understand? What type of issues they may face? These are called complex. So one question is tested from this area, one question. All right, and then section E, communication, analysis, and evaluation. Skepticism and commercial acumen. These are all 5 skills that you already have studied in SPL. Is there any student who has not studied SPL yet? Is there any student who has not studied SPL yet? Should I suppose that all of you have already studied SPL and the topics you already have covered? So means you already have familiarity with these skills. Oh yeah, is it okay? Should I suppose you already have some familiarity with these 5 skills? Okay. Next is the section F. Employability and technology skills. What you will learn here about: use computer technology to efficiently access and manipulate relevant information, work on relevant response options using available functions. Response options, what are the response options? What are response options? For example, the Word and the spreadsheet. Okay, Word and spreadsheet, these are response options. Using available functions and technologies means, in other words, you should be familiar with the functions available in the Excel spreadsheet or in the Word, as would be required in the workplace. Navigate windows and computer screens to create and amend responses to exam requirements using appropriate tools. Present data and information effectively using the appropriate tools. Present data means how you present data and information effectively. Okay, for example, whether in spreadsheet, you can create graphs, you can create charts. Okay, so, all right, so I think we can take a little break here. What do you think? So 10 minutes of break is sufficient? Hello? 10 minutes of break is sufficient? All right, so please take your time, and we will be back after 10 minutes. And then we are starting with approach to examining the syllabus. Okay, see you after break time, 10 minutes. Welcome back. We are now going to learn about approach to examining the syllabus. The Advanced Performance Management exam builds upon skills and knowledge examined in the Performance Management exam. At this stage, candidates will be expected to demonstrate an integrated knowledge. That is the point. And this is the point of SBL as well. Integrated knowledge of subject and ability to relate their technical understanding. Technical understanding means technical topics of the subject to issues of strategic and operational importance of the organization. First, let me explain what is integrated. What is integrated? Basically, SPL paper is also integrated. That any topic can be linked with any other topic. If you remember, just like I link here, I link topics here. ESG, pastel, EMA, ethics. Just like this, examiner can connect any topic. For example, quality management. Quality techniques such as just in time is part of section C, whereas this topic can be linked with information systems, which is section B. This can be linked with critical success factors. Critical success factors, which is section A. So this is the beauty of advanced performance management, and this is particularly emphasized in the paper as well. If you read the reports of examiner reports, you would find every time examiner laments that students lack technical knowledge, they lack integrated approach or integrated thinking. You need to develop integrated thinking. Integrated thinking means how multiple areas can be discussed together. What this means? Multiple factors discussed together. I hope you are now clear about integrated approach or integrated thinking. Let's talk about now exam structure. The syllabus is assessed by a 3 hours, 15 minutes computer-based exam. Section A. Section A of the exam will always be 50-mark case study based on an organization in a particular business context. The 50 marks will comprise of 40 technical marks. How many? 40 technical marks and 10 professional skills marks. All professional skills will be examined in section A. All mean all 5 professional skills: skepticism, communication, analysis, evaluation, commercial acumen will be examined in section A, 10 marks. This is one point. Next, It will include the organization mission statement and strategic objectives. Yes, this is another tip I am sharing with you. Another tip. First tip I share with you, and this is another tip. Mission statement, strategic objectives. These are almost in every exam. Question 1, section A are given. And candidates will be expected to be able to assess or evaluate the methods by which organization is controlling, managing, and measuring performance in order to achieve its objectives. In order to achieve its objectives. So you will be required to assess or evaluate how it is measuring performance, how it is controlling and managing. So this part you can expect almost 15 to 18 marks part of question 1, section A. And literally I can tell you, this is almost repeated. There would be some exceptions, but if you look at all past papers, except 1 or 2, this 15 or 18 marks part is tested. And now you might be thinking, what is tested? Yes. Evaluate performance report. This is very typical question, sub-question in question 1 of sometimes 14 marks, sometimes 15 marks, sometimes 18 marks, sometimes 20 marks. And you must just little bit learning, little bit understanding, you can learn about this, evaluate. There is a criteria. There is a simple model or framework I will share with you. Okay, simple framework that you need to follow. Okay, and I will share that with you. Next, number 3, including an evaluation of organization performance report, the same point. It's an information system. Yes, the exam may also require you about information system, new strategies, or projects, and its performance management and measurement systems. Candidates should understand that they will be expected to undertake calculations, draw comparison against relevant information where appropriate, and be prepared to offer alternative recommendations. Yes, alternative recommendations. Even in this report, you can expect make recommended actions, make recommendations. Okay, next. Management accountants are required to look across a range of issues which will affect organizational performance, the achievement of objectives, and impact on operations. And so candidates should expect to see section A of the exam focus on range of issues from across syllabus sections A, B, and C. These will vary depending on the business context. The case study in section A is based on, okay, section A questions will ask candidates to produce a response in a specific format, for example, a report to the board of directors. So if this is the story of section A, I would recommend you to read it 2, 3, 4, even 5 times this slide, particularly section A. Okay, read it 4 or 5 times so you can understand better what section A is about. Next, section B. Candidates will be required to answer a further 2 25 marks question in section B of exam, which will normally comprise of scenario-based questions. Okay. The 25 marks will comprise of 20 technical marks. This is the point. 20 technical marks and 5 professional skills marks. Section B question will examine a combination of professional skills appropriate to the question. Each question will examine a minimum of 2 professional skills. Yes, each question. There are 5 marks in each question of section B. Each question will examine a minimum of 2 skills from analysis and evaluation, skepticism, commercial acumen. This is the point. Tip number 2. One of the section B question will come mainly from syllabus section D. What is D? What is section D? 5 models and 1 other topic. So total 6 topics. So 1 question from these 6 topics. One of the section B question will come mainly from syllabus section D. However, the other section B question can come from any other syllabus section. Section B question will also require candidates to address a range of issues influencing performance of organization in specific business situations. Total 100 marks. All right. Any question? My dear, feel free. This is your class. Your class. You have any question? Any question? You need to learn to ask questions, especially when you are taking my classes. Okay? When there is something not clear, note down. Keep a notebook with you. When you are listening to something and a question pops up in your mind, note it down and ask me later. You will have a Facebook group. Okay, sorry, WhatsApp group. So in the WhatsApp group, we can discuss, we can share our thoughts. How will the Apm Cpe exam look like? So this is a screenshot from the exam, Apm specimen from September 22 onwards. So you see, I have taken this latest specimen. Okay, this is question number 1. So you see on the left side, there are exhibits. Exhibit number 1, organization information. Exhibit 2, CSF and KPIs. Exhibit 3, value for money. Exhibit 4, league tables. Exhibit 5, appendix 1. Then there are requirements, 50 marks. Then there are response options, word processor and spreadsheet. Okay, then here are the requirements, 50 marks requirements. It is now 1st September 25. Write a report to the CEO of the Department for Internal Affairs to respond to his instructions for work in the following areas. Number 1, critical success factors and KPIs are for deal and police, 16 marks. I told you this is a typical question. You remember? I told you that in almost every APM paper, you can expect a similar question. So you need to, and by the way, this is from section A. You need to be familiar with how to tackle this type of questions. Evaluation of value for money service provided, 14 marks. And use of league tables in measuring performance of deal and police, 10 marks. Another tip for you. Another tip for you. And other learning for you. This requirement, this is not complete requirement. This is not complete requirement of the question. This is, you must be familiar today, because a lot of students don't pay attention to this, and ultimately they lose marks. This is not complete requirement of the question. So where is the complete requirement for the question? Where is the complete requirement for the question if this is not the complete requirement? If these are the not complete requirement, where are the complete requirements? Complete requirements are, please note, complete task requirements would be inside the scenario. Will be inside the scenario. This is just partly requirement, but not complete requirement. My dear, are you clear on this point which I have shared with you? Hello? Are you clear on this point which I have shared with you, that these are not complete requirements? Complete requirement is within the scenario in detail. Are you clear? This is very important for you. Very, very important for you to know. And by the way, when we will start practice, of course, I will be focusing on this particular point again and again and again. Okay, but at least now you should make sure you have cleared it, you have understood it. Okay, so 16 plus 14, 30 plus 10, 40, and here are the 10 marks. 10 marks. Professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skills in communication, analysis, evaluation, and skepticism, and commercial acumen in your answer. So basically all four skills are required in question 1, section A. How you communicate, how you analyze, how you evaluate, how you use skepticism and commercial acumen. Let me tell you, APM is now easier than ever before. Easier than ever. APM is easier to pass than before, I can tell you. Here, section B, 2 of 3. 2 of 3. Just 1 second, please. This is question 2. Same on the left side, company information, purchasing exhibits 1, 2, 3, 4, requirements, response options, and then, okay. So requirement for 25 marks, 1st September it is. Respond to CEO's request for work on the following areas. Introduction of just-in-time system, 13 marks. Cost of quality changes, 7 marks. Total are 20 marks. And professional skills marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skills in analysis and evaluation. This is 1, skepticism. This is 2, commercial acumen. This is 3, okay, in your answer. And how many marks are there? There are 5 marks. So 3 skills are being tested in this. All right. Next, question 3 of 3. Question 3 of 3. APM specimen exam. Same 25 marks question. On the left side, there are exhibits. On the right side, there's a detail. So here is the question requirements 25 marks. It is now 1st September 20x5. You should know the meanings of this date. You should know the meanings of this date. What is purpose of this date? Okay, because your answer should be in a logical flow. Respond to director's request for work on the following areas. Implementation of step 2 of VBM, value-based management. Okay, and then measurement of value. This is from section D of the syllabus. Section D, I already told you 1 question from section D. So this question from section D. Okay, and here are 5, 15, and 5, 5. And here are the professional skills awarded for demonstration of skills in analysis, evaluation, and commercial acumen. So how many skills are being tested? Skill number 1, skill number 2 is being tested here. So this is how advanced performance management paper is examined now. These are the blank spaces for you to practice, for your practice. Okay, so you can use these blank spaces in the ACCA platform for your practice. Okay. Understanding Apm Cpe Exam Technique. Good exam technique alongside good technical knowledge is key to exam success. But what is good exam technique in advanced performance management? How do you improve these skills? And what about professional skills marks? Exam technique cover many areas, including understanding the structure of the exam, which I have just shared with you, structure of the exam. And the way in which questions are asked. This is the point. This is the point I have shared. I have highlighted both structure and how questions are asked. Let me take you back to the slide where I have discussed with you this one. How questions are asked. How questions are asked. This is, I want you to be clear in the first day of this amazing paper. How questions are asked. Questions, one, for example, require you to use the question scenario to gain a complete picture of the tasks that you have been set and therefore maximize your opportunity to score marks. Summary of changes to APM syllabus applicable as from September 22. APM syllabus has been restructured with few key changes. So topics removed from the syllabus. Section B, impact of risk and uncertainty on organization performance has been removed. Section E3, predicting and preventing corporate failure has been removed. I already have updated you. Then topics added to the syllabus. These are very simple and minor topics added. Data analytics has been expanded, the following additions. So now small topic has been added, data silos. This topic has been added. Different methods of data analysis, such as descriptive, diagnostic, and predictive analytics. This is different data analysis techniques you need to know. Use of alternative methods of data analytics, such as text, image, video, voice analytics, and sentiment analytics. So, my dear, for all these AI softwares are being used. AI software, because this is beyond the capability of human. Okay, so AI softwares are being used for all this. Then ethical issues related to information collection and processing, use of black box algorithms and large scale data collection and mining. So see, these are the small topics have been added. Very interesting, very interesting. Section E, professional skills have been added. Summary of changes to the Apm Cpe paper applicable as from section A, already shared with you that there are now 10 professional skills marks out of 50 in section A, and there are 10 marks in section B as well. So 2 questions, 20 plus 5, 20 plus 5, total 50 marks. Resources for Apm Cpe exam preparation. There are specimen exams available for you, and then there are practice exam available for you for maximum practice. In the beginning, we will practice from the kit, but later on, we will be doing practice in the platform. How I will add value, how I will lead and add value. I will provide you knowledge book, a full syllabus coverage with clear understanding and learning of technical knowledge. Summary notes I will provide you. Practice kit, comprehensive practice of the syllabus. Continuing support through WhatsApp group where all discussions, updates, stories, and the news to develop your commercial acumen. Train you how to develop a structured approach to pass APM exam. Train you how to read APM questions. Train you how to connect the dots, information given in the scenario. How to read and analyze the tasks. What is effective communication through writing, improve your writing skills or typing, how to structure and draft the answer, avoid mistakes and time management skills. Studying advanced performance management. When studying for APM, it is not necessary or desirable to learn everything in your study material parrot fashion. Simply repeating, never likely to satisfy examiner requirement. This is in every exam report. If you read, this is the problem. This is a typical problem with students. Okay, they just repeat what they have learned. They would not understand the question context, question requirement. Rather, they would write what they know. Rather, they would write what they know. Rather, what is required. No, they will not write that. From day one, I want you to learn this, and this paper will be very easy for you. This paper will be just like a chocolate for you. Okay. The practice past exam questions dealing with these areas. Being a professional level paper, it is important to read around the subject too. Read around. What is read around? Broad knowledge of business world. What is happening right now in the business world? What type of challenges? What type of problems, issues, obstacles, constraints organizations are facing? You need to be aware of this. And as a APM paper tutor, I find that using real life examples helps my students to understand the concepts covered during the courses and makes the material come alive. These examples can be found in quality newspapers and news websites. So try to read a good quality newspaper website. It is not every day, at least once a week. what I recommend, to download few apps such as Bloomberg, you can download Guardian, you can download BBC, you can download, or there are other apps, but these are paid, such as Financial Times or like Wall Street Journal. But you don't need to go in details of the stories, just go scroll down and look at the headlines, what is going on in the business world, because these are the top financial news sources in the world, such as Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, and then Reuters. You might have heard Reuters. So these are the top. So you will get updated what is going on in the world. Then if you want to read widely, then I recommend read Economist magazine. In Mauritius, it is available, I think 250 or 60 rupees. So although it's a weekly based, but I would recommend you can buy after every 2 weeks. But I can tell you, reading Economist will like help you, your vocabulary, your understanding, your writing, and your insights will help you understand better about the business, economy, politics. And read examiner reports from the last sittings. In APM paper questions, particularly in section A, you will need to be able to deal with much longer scenarios. The examiner is seeing if you can apply your knowledge to real life like situations. I gave you example that a company is operating in a country where there are floods, there are droughts, there are disease to crop disease, and ultimately affected, how it would impact performance. This is the point. This tests your ability to deal with a larger amount of data and identify the most important issues. Can you see the big picture when presented with a lot of detail? All right. So studying advanced performance management, one APM paper question may well focus on several different parts of the syllabus, several different parts. At this level, you can't just view each topic as being in a separate box. No, I told you, you need to follow integrated approach. What? Integrated approach, my dear. Not separation, means separated boxes or separate topics. You have to appreciate how they are all linked. This is much more like real life. In real life, problems are presented, problems are faced by organization, but there would be multiple factors behind that. If you are a management accountant in the real world, the management of the company may ask you to assess the performance of particular division. They are not likely to tell you assess the performance of the division using this model. No. They would leave it to you to decide how to assess performance, APM paper examiner tries to do the same. Okay, let's talk about skills required to pass APM exam. Skills: read material, think, understand in depth, and relate to particular situations. Practice past exam question dealing with these areas. Real life examples would be helpful for you. Practicing past exam question under time condition is essential. Read the examiner reports from the last sittings. And tips for effective learning is like means how you can make your study interesting. Like your study space, you must have a like creative study space, okay, where there would be no one to disturb you. Avoid distractors like as mobile phone or everything should be away. No need to focus on notifications. Turn off notification or keep your phone off or keep it aside. Because research says, what? Research says that once the focus is lost, it takes 25 minutes to regain. How many minutes? How much time? 25 minutes to regain the focus, or again starting, achieving the same pace or understanding. All essentials at right place, notes, pencils, notebooks, water, backup bottles, and snacks should be part of that. All right, and oh, this is old one. Learning the fundamental concepts. So we are going to now discuss the fundamental concepts of advanced performance management. So you can have some understanding of what it is about. But before I start some fundamental discussion, I would like to know if you have any question. We have time, we can start our chapter 1 few topics. But before that, do you have any question? You want to ask something?
So excuse me.
Yes.
For the study manual, I've just viewed it. Do we need to print it and keep it with
You're
us?
talking about?
The study manual.
Okay. No need to print if you can read from the screen. Okay.
Okay.
And you have some like gadget where you can take notes or you can highlight. Okay, so then there's no need for that to print. But if you feel more comfortable in physical paper, then you can print, no problem.
But I don't think I can get the feature to print it. Can we print it from your website?
I need to check. I think you can download. No?
Okay, I haven't seen that. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, you can check. I think you can download it. And
I will check it again. If ever I'm getting some technical issues, I will let you know.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Swasti says that she has been able to print. So you can download it and you can print it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So then you can take notes, you can highlight, you can write additional points, or even you can expand a topic. Okay? You
Yes,
can
sir. Okay.
expand a topic. For example, I have mentioned something. Understand? You can expand it, you can broaden it, you can write your own point of view, you can research on it. This is the beauty of like when we download something. But these days there are softwares available, by the way, and if you are using some tablet, there are some apps as well that help you to write your notes, highlight, and a lot of other functions. All right, so let's start. I have this is volume 1, and this volume 1 will cover 2 sections, section A and section B. I have divided into 4 chapters, and we are going to start with our chapter number 1. This is the same slide we already have discussed. I have just reproduced it for your understanding. So you can reread it, you can better understanding of this one. All right, section A, strategic planning and control. Which topics are you going to cover? Strategic planning and control, performance hierarchy, mission statement, critical success factors and KPIs, benchmarking, risk and uncertainty in long-term planning and decision-making, performance management systems, and budgeting approaches and performance control. So these are the topics you are going to cover in chapter number 1. Let's talk about strategic objectives, planning, and control. I have put here examples from different brands to help you understand what strategic objectives are, what is strategic planning, and what is strategic control. First of all, when we talk about strategic objectives, these are long-term objectives. There are few aspects of strategic objectives. Strategic objectives are long-term objectives of the organization. This is the one aspect. Then strategic objectives cover the broad organization, or strategic objectives cover broader strategy of the organization. That is the point you should know. Broader strategy of the organization. What is broader strategy of the organization? I explain it for you. For example, Volkswagen. You might have heard about the Dieselgate scandal of the Volkswagen. If you have not heard, then read about it. Dieselgate scandal. How the Volkswagen software tried to cheat the US Environmental Agency and ultimately caught. Okay, so that was a big blow to not only to the reputation of the Volkswagen, but also a very big blow to the financial performance of the Volkswagen. I think more than 35 billion euro. It must be crossed 40 now. 35, we can check the latest figures. Can you please check? My dear, I want you to search. Just type in Google, Volkswagen Dieselgate, how much means cost to the Volkswagen of diesel scandal. Cost to Volkswagen of diesel scandal. Yes. Just type and share with us. How much Volkswagen it has cost to the Volkswagen? How much? Performance measurement and management. Please quick. Volkswagen Dieselgate scandal cost. No, you guys need to check again. You need to check again. It must be above 30 billion euro. Tanishta says 33 billion USD. Okay, let's check. Volkswagen diesel scandal. Cost. There are different figures. 34.69 billion. It's not latest. Let me check latest, but you can check the latest figure. This is from DW. Volkswagen pays millions in Dieselgate settlement in Britain. Just wait. Yes. If you search on DW, it says more than 32 billion euro. More than 32 billion euro. I would suggest you to read this news. You type, please type Volkswagen diesel scandal cost. Just type in Google, Volkswagen diesel scandal cost. On the top, there's a DW. news source. Volkswagen pays millions in Dieselgate. Can you see this news? DW, from DW. This is also very trustworthy and reliable source of news. So I can also share it with you in the WhatsApp group as well to read. 32 billion, above 32 billion euro. Imagine how negatively, it is just financial cost. It is just financial cost in terms of penalties in US, in Europe, in UK, and plus recalling millions of vehicles. You want to see another shot? Do you want to see? Just type Volkswagen graveyard. Can you type Volkswagen graveyard? Volkswagen graveyard. What you can see? What can you see? Can you see the hundreds and thousands of cars being parked and abandoned, means made abandoned? Can you see the photos? Can you see the photos? Unfortunately, this is the very unfortunate kind of emission scandal. But anyway, there are a lot of other details and learning for you. Anyway, the point here is that after that, Volkswagen CEO resigned, Volkswagen board resigned, and then Volkswagen redesigned its strategy to be electric cars till 2025. I am missing the number. I think 50% or 70 or 80% of the production will be electric till 2025. Why? Because in EU, you might have heard that in EU, countries have put very clear targets on the like European Green Deal, and for sustainability targets they have clearly mentioned. So some countries in Europe, they have given the time of 2030. Some countries have given the time of 2035, and UK and other countries have the target of 2040. Means after 2040 there will be no diesel petrol cars sold or available or will be allowed to okay. In that context, companies and brands are taking it serious and transforming their business model. So we can link strategic objectives, planning and control, all this in this context. For example, look at the Zara. Zara says that committed to sustainable cotton and polyester by 2025. H&M says all their materials will be sustainable by 2030, and for 2019 that figure was already at 57%. Yes, that's true. H&M, because it's the world largest apparel seller, okay, so it is spending millions and millions of dollars on its supply chain. Okay, next, Starbucks. By 2030, Starbucks will aim to reduce carbon emission by 50%, reduce waste sent to landfills from stores and manufacturing by 50%, driven by a broader shift towards a circular economy. Yes, this is something you might have heard before, that the world is moving towards circular economy. Circular economy means reuse, recycle. Okay, and will also conserve or replenish 50% of the water currently being used for direct operations and coffee production. You can find this story. Then Coca-Cola has also its plans. Kraft Heinz, the world's largest ketchup manufacturer, maker, Heinz, also has its plans. L'Oreal, the world, one of the largest beauty cosmetics manufacturer and seller, it has its own plans. Mars, the chocolate manufacturer, has its own plans. So all these plans basically reflect, these are the strategic objectives. Okay, these are, we can call these as green now. These are green strategic objectives because companies and big brands are moving towards more sustainable business practices. Okay, so what are strategic plans? What are strategic plans? Strategic plans, also called corporate or long-term plans, involve formulating, evaluating, selecting strategies to enable the formation of a long-term plan to attain long-term objectives. So basically, in short and simple, strategic plans are formulated to achieve long-term or strategic objectives. Strategic plans are formulated to achieve strategic objectives. Okay, and what are strategic objectives? You can see these are the long-term objectives of the organizations. Then what are strategic controls? My dear, just strategic plans and strategic objectives are not enough. You need to measure as well. You need to measure. Why? Because what gets measured gets done. So you need to measure your progress towards your strategic objectives. Strategic objectives. So how this will be done? This will be achieved through controls. This will be achieved through strategic controls. So word strategic control is used for strategic objectives. So what you will do? This means in short, strategic control means comparison of plan and actual performance. It's like variance analysis. Variance analysis is a more kind of operational level feeling. But when we talk about like at corporate or strategic level, there are also variances calculated, but these are strategic level variances. Okay, where we compare our actual progress with plans. Compare their brands. Compare actual versus plan performance. I hope you are clear. For example, if Starbucks says that it is going to reduce 50% emissions by this time, it needs to set goals, shorter goals every year. How much? So till 2025, it can achieve its desired target. I hope you got it clear. Okay, next. Role or performance measurement in checking progress towards corporate objectives. So this is all performance measurement. Performance measurement will help you not only to measure your current performance, but also your efforts as well. How much effort you need to make. Okay, so such as objectives related to sustainability and competitiveness, customers and markets, technology and innovation, process quality, delivery management, as well as talent development, you need performance measurement. You need to measure performance in all these areas because we are talking about sustainable performance measurement. So you need develop talent that would support your green strategy. Develop talent to support your green strategy. So for this, you need green skills. Yes, this is a new buzzword. This is a new fashion word in the business world, in the world of sustainable development discussions, green skills. Okay, let's talk about strategic management accounting. How strategic management accounting can help the organization in achieving its strategic objectives and plans and controls. Okay, it is SMA, strategic management accounting. Let's learn first what is it. So if someone asks you, tell me about strategic management accounting, you should know what is it. Strategic management accounting is a form of management accounting in which emphasis is placed on factors external to the firm, external to the firm, external to the firm. For example, PESTEL, for example, emissions, climate, customers, regulation, compliance, external to the firm, as well as non-financial and internally generated information, non-financial, ESG. So this is called strategic management accounting. Long-term, external factors, non-financial. It would help the management of an organization in finding answers to the critical questions regarding competitive pressure, customers, nature of competition, and markets. Who are our competitors? Who are our customers? How strong they are? What factors make them stronger? So strategic management accounting answers to all these questions. SMA answers to these questions. So this is beyond the traditional accounting. This is beyond the traditional financial accounting. This is called strategic management accounting. The aim of strategic management accounting is to provide information that is relevant to the process of strategic planning and control. This is the point. So basically, this is the role of the management accountant. This is the role of management accountant to provide all the necessary information to the management to help in their long-term planning, strategic controls, and setting strategic objectives. Clear? All right, let's discuss quickly what strategic management accounting does. Number one, external orientation. Strategic management accounting has external orientation. What is external orientation? It is about political factors. It means when there is a shift or when there's a change in the political economy, or when there's a change in the political systems or political priorities or political preferences, or for example, there is a new government in place and the new government has its own emphasis on resource allocation. For example, like in these days, increasing number of governments, such as in USA, for example, there's a lot of focus on chips manufacturing. US government is allocating billions of dollars towards chip industry. Understand? You might have heard the shortage of chips right now the world is facing. So the big chips manufacturers, the three world biggest chips manufacturers, Intel, TSMC, and Samsung. These are the three largest chips manufacturers. They are setting their factories in US to get those benefits from the US governments in billions of dollars. Billions of dollars government is giving subsidies and grants. This is not just US. Other developed economies as well. I have very interesting video for you, very interesting. I will share in the WhatsApp group. 15 or 16 minutes video, but I can tell you that video will give you new insights about critical industries. Okay, external orientation just not just about political, it's about economy, how the economy is moving, in which direction the economy is going, inflation, exchange rate, interest rate, economic growth, customer sentiments, and a lot of other factors. Social, technological, competition, compliance, regulation, law. You need to look at how these factors are shaping and how they will impact the performance. Okay. Now, this is not the job of like simple accountant. Being management accountant. Being a management accountant. Okay. The responsibility or the job role is to analyze various shifts in macroeconomic factors and how they would impact business performance. Okay. Next, help in achieving competitive advantage. Again, this is the role of the strategic management accounting to help the organization to achieve competitive advantage. Competitive advantage through cost reduction, competitive advantage through value addition, competitive advantage through better features, better products, design, okay, better customer service. So in this way, it can help the organization. Next, determine customers. Who are our customers? Why are they purchasing our products? How we can make them happy? What features of our product making them satisfied and happy? Okay, you need to identify that. Being a performance management expert, being a management accountant, this is your role. This is the role of the strategic management accounting to understand why customers are purchasing our products and why are they not purchasing to our competitors. Next, future orientation. You also need to look at the broader horizon, okay, and you see where will be the future of this industry. For example, think of energy, for example. If you are you apply strategic management accounting to energy or mining or oil and gas sectors, so you can easily predict what is the future of oil and gas, what is the future of coal, okay, so in which direction they are going and how we can prepare. For example, big oil companies such as BT, for example, no, sorry, British Petroleum, BP. BT is British Telecom and BP, British Petroleum. British Petroleum is basically its business model is oil exploration and selling, marketing, but now it is investing in electric vehicle charging stations. Okay, it is investing in EV charging station. It has acquired one of the UK's largest charging facility provider. Understand? So these companies are transforming their business models. You see, these are the discussions of 21st century. If someone told some other person or me or you in 90s, these type of things, we might have laughed, but now these are realities. Okay, my dear, next, goal congruence. Management accounting or strategic management accounting also align organization. This is called alignment. Alignment means it aligns top to the bottom. It aligns corporate objectives with operational performance and individual level targets to achieve corporate objectives. My dear, this is the beauty of strategic management accounting. So that's, I think time is up. And that is also like end of our session as well. So I hope that today's introductory session would have helped you to understand this amazing, this beautiful, this future-oriented subject. This paper, you might have better understood that you have made a right decision. So I again congratulate you for choosing this wonderful paper. Okay, you have got the bigger picture of this paper. You have got understanding of how a paper is examined. You also have got understanding that this paper is not difficult. This is not difficult. This paper requires you a skill, and that is performance measurement skill. That's it. If you have developed that skill, you need, it is very easy to pass. So you need to have interest in this paper. Interest. Okay. All right. Before I close, would you like to ask me any question? Any question? All right. So I think no question. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for joining my session, choosing my class. You have better understood now about this paper. You have better understood about my style, my passion, how much I am passionate about this paper, and the knowledge that I am so much enthusiastic to deliver and share with you. So when you finish this course, you feel the difference. What? This is my slogan, feel the difference. When you will finish, you will feel the difference. All right, thank you very much for joining, and have a very beautiful evening. Enjoy, and looking forward to see you on next Sunday. Okay. Meanwhile, we will keep in touch in the WhatsApp group, where I will be sharing some interesting news articles and videos with you guys. Okay. For any question, you can let me know. You have my email address and my contact number, and you can also contact me on the Facebook as well, Messenger. And I will be very happy to help you pass this paper and build on this paper. What skills you can further learn, and you can make yourself more valuable in this very, very competing world. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. See you next Sunday. Bye.